Hello everyone, this is Engineering 100 assignment number 2, flowcharts. I thought I would take the opportunity to show some of you how to create flowchart symbols in Word if you've never done it before. So what I've done is I've opened up Word and I've put a little header at the top that says how to mow the lawn in 8 steps. And I've got a completed flowchart down here at the bottom that we'll discuss here in just a few moments, but I thought I'd show you how to create some of the symbols first, so that they're of uniform size. So one of the first things that I did was I clicked on my screen and I gave myself something to move my mouse to. So I hit the enter button several times just to put some hard carriage returns there. Sometimes it just makes it just a little bit easier to insert symbols. And then the way you create or insert a symbol is you go up here to the Insert tab inside of Word and you select Insert. And then you move your mouse over to Shapes and you select Shapes. And if I move down here, I want to show you that there's some flowchart symbols that have already been created for you, but there's not a real good example of an oval or an ellipse. So I do use the ellipse up here at the top. So I'm going to use this ellipse. I'm going to use this this rectangle right here, and it's under recently used shapes, so I've already used it before. That's why it's at the top. And then I'm going to use this arrow, and I'm going to use this decision statement. So you can either find shapes up here at the top that you've used, or you can kind of explore through the basic shapes, but most of the flowchart symbols you can find right here. So one of the ones that I'm going to bring in first is the oval shape. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to select oval, and I'm going to move my mouse on the screen, and I want the oval shape to be big enough that I can put some text in it. So I'm going to click, hold my mouse button down, and just kind of drag an oval shape that I like. And it's got a solid background on it now. I want to go ahead and I want to change that to where the background is white. Now it's kind of up to you on what you want to do, but I'm going to go ahead and change mine. So there, I've changed it. And this is a symbol that begins a process or ends a process. So I know that I have to have 2 of these. So in order to make one the same size, the easiest thing to do would be to copy it. So I'm going to move my mouse on the symbol. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click copy. And I'll scoot my mouse down a little bit and I'll right click and I'll click paste. So now I've got 2 oval shapes that are exactly the same size. And if I wanted to put some text in it, all you do is click on the one that you want to put some text in, and then I could type the word start. And that would be the start. And this would be the end. So I'm going to type in end, E-N-D. And I've got my ovals. Now, if I want to go ahead and create a rectangle, and I want them to kind of be the same size, like once again, I can go up to Insert, and I can go to Shapes, and I can find a rectangle. There's a rectangle there. This rectangle is the same size or the same character as this one. I've just used this one. So I'm going to select this one at the top. And then I'm going to kind of line my mouse up with the edge and kind of the bottom of this one. I'm going to drag up and over. I'm going to place it right on top of the oval, and I'm going to kind of duplicate the same size. And then I can click and drag down, and now I've got a rectangle that's approximately the same size as the ovals. And once again, I want to remove the background shading, so I'll go up here and I'll select the More button here, and I'll select this one, and I've got it done. And you enter the text just the same way. Of course, if I wanted to copy it, I would click on it, and then I would right-click on it, and I would go up to Copy and select Copy. And then I would move to a new place and right-click and paste. So there I've got a couple of rectangles and I've got a couple of ovals, and they're all about the same size. And if you scoot them around, you can kind of see a green line that pops up on the side, and that's lined up with the oval. If I click here and I kind of drag this one, now they're all kind of lined up on the left-hand side, which is great. And the last shape that we're going to want to insert is the decision statement, which is the shape of a diamond. So I'll go back up here to the top and I'll click Insert. And once again, I'm going to go to Shapes and I'll select Shapes. And then I'm going to find Diamond. Now, the diamond is a flowchart symbol. Once again, it's recently used here, so it pops up at the top. But I could go down here and I could go to flowchart symbols and find the diamond here. But I'll just use the one at the top again, so I'll select it. And once again, I'm going to kind of use one of these shapes as a guide, so they all kind of come out the same size. So I'm going to click my mouse and kind of drag over, and then I'm just going to have to fiddle with it just a little bit. And you could see that that's pretty close in size. Let me just shrink it just a little bit this way. And now I've got a nice diamond. That's the right shape. And I'm going to click on the diamond, and then once again, I'm going to change it to a white background. Okay. So here are basically the shapes that you're going to use. The quantities aren't right, but the shapes have been drawn correctly. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to connect these together after you've created the shape. So let me scroll down and show you what I've done. So I created a flow chart about how to mow the lawn or how to cut the grass. And so here's my beginning statement. It says, get the lawnmower out. And then I've got a process step. Start the mower, cut the grass, refill the lawnmower with mower with gas. And then I've got a decision statement in here. Is the mower dirty? Well, if it's dirty, then you want to move this way. And I've put the word yes in there, and you may want to include this on your flow chart if you have a diamond shape. And so I'm going to move over. Yes, you'd get the hose, you'd wash the mower, and when you're done with it, you would put it away. If the mower is not dirty, the answer to it would be no, and you just simply put the mower away. So the last thing that I want to show you how to do is how to create these arrows. It's super simple. And so if I wanted to connect the start to the end, which I really wouldn't want to do, but I'll show you it all works the same. I'll go to Insert. Once again, I'll go to Shapes, and I'll select Shapes. And then the one that I want to select is this one right here. It's a leader with an arrow on it, and I'll select it. Sometimes it helps if you zoom in just a little bit, so I'll zoom this up and scroll in. And what I want to do is I want to kind of grab the quadrant here. So I'm going to put my mouse right on it. You just have to eyeball it. I'll click, hold my mouse button down, and then I'll drag down, and make sure you don't do this. You want to get it as straight up and down as you can. And then I'll just release. And you can see that's just a tiny bit off. I could click on it and delete it and try it again. Let me just go ahead and do that. I'll see if I can do a little better the second time. So once again, where do I go? I go up to Insert. I go over to Shapes. I select Shapes. I select the leader with the arrow on it. And I click my mouse here. Click and drag straight down. And that looks to be just a little bit better, so I'll select it. Anyway, this concludes how to create flowchart symbols in Word. Thanks for listening.